Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am test riding a KTM RC125, not the 390 unfortunately. This is my next door neighbour's bike. He got it 2 days ago and we've already done a lot of work to it. I mean, me and him drilled the baffle out, so it's got no baffle in this bike at all now. And he's got the Acroprovic on it, R&G crash bungs, and pallet bobbins. It's got a few more bits to come on the way. But what's this bike really aimed at? This is aimed at like the 17-year-olds and the above, really, all the newcomers to the bike world. And is it a good bike to start off on? Yeah, I'd say so. It's got ABS. It's not really a fundamental need. You don't really need it if you're riding a bike, but it helps for the learners. It's good. I mean, I'm still running it in for him as well, so I can't really thrash it. But it's a good bike. It's 2016 model. It's got decent mirrors on it. Definitely got decent mirrors on it. Everything's comfortable. Got a decent display on it. I am full throttle and not a lot's happening. Still, I might get to 60. I got to 60. I can't rag it at all. I'm trying really hard not to, because where I'm usually on my street triple, I'd be thrashing it. But yeah, it's a nice bike. It's a brilliant little learner bike. All these little signs and that on your controls are all lit up as well, like your horn. You can see that glowing down there. It all lights up all the time. So yeah. I mean, when I had my FR125, it was pretty similar to this. Obviously it was better looking, but still, it's got a nice trellis frame to it. Turns well. It's a very agile little bike, as you'd expect. After all, it is a KTM. But yeah, I'll show you the bike at some point. But as a person that's come from a 125 in the past, when I was on L plates, it's definitely a nice bike. I mean, with me on it, I mean, I'm what, 11 stone. It struggles a bit. A little bit. I mean, he's probably only what, 9 stone. And it makes a difference on these little 14 brake horsepower bikes. But it's if you're looking to come up and get into the biking scene, it's a brilliant little bike to start on. I mean, I had my 125 for 4 years, just bombing it around. But yeah, and there's lots of bits you can put on it as well. It's got decent brakes. It hasn't got launch control. It hasn't got traction control. But apart from that, it's really good. It's got sharp brakes. It's got some Metzeler tyres on it. Probably about as good as the FR125. Look, I'm going up a slight incline now. 54, full throttle. I have to get right down here for it to do something. There you go, look. Makes all the difference with these little bikes. But they can be fun. Really good fun. you can use all the power all the time, which is somewhat decent. It's not like 1000cc where you can only use 20% of it on the street. You just gun it everywhere on one of these, which is all about the laugh. I think that exhaust's getting a bit annoying to me, you know. But, you know, this is bike. You get a lot of vibration through the foot pegs on this. A lot of vibration. But I'd recommend this for any learner that wants to have a good bit of fun, use it as a commuter to college or work, whatever. Because you've got to start somewhere at the end of the day, ain't you? Which is, yeah. So if you're starting somewhere, you might as well start on the 125 and do your CVT and then do your test or whatever. That mode button, it isn't a mode button like you'd get on like a R1 or anything, so don't worry about that. It's just to change the clocks. All your indicators at the front of the bike are actually in your mirrors. Which is good. It's always good. Just need to open my air vent. It's starting to steam up. It's got a tail tidy on the back of this as well. That was a fun bit of kit to fit. I do have to say though, the R&G products nowadays are looking a bit cheap. I'd have personally gone for Evotech crash protection on this, and then Evotech tail tidy, because in that you can hide your cables, whereas on this one, on the back of this bike, you basically cable tying them to the bracket, which looks alright. It's out of the way, you can't really tell it's there until you really look, but it just gives it that cheapy look. But yeah, it's a nice little bike. I could ride this all day. I could go from here all the way to Birmingham on it quite comfortably. The seat is hard, don't get me wrong, it's hard, but it's not a powerful bike anyway, is it really? I mean, at 14 brake horsepower, you're getting a good bike. Definitely one of the better bikes. I mean, if you look at the YZF R125, that's probably still the better bike, without a doubt. But this is probably a good second. This is £4 this bike, there or thereabouts. £4. Bikes have probably gone a bit more expensive 125s. I'd say they're about a bit more expensive than they was a couple of years ago. But it's worth every penny, isn't it, for your independence? I mean, this has got a nice trellis frame on it. It's got orange wheels on it. I keep winding him up saying it's HRC colours, but you know, I'd recommend it to anyone. I'd have to say the rear brake feels in a weird position. By that what I mean, it feels completely level with the peg, whereas on my street triple it's down a bit. Watch that. Around we go. Yeah, I'll definitely say the gearing's lower on this than the YZF R125. Let's find somewhere to park where I can show it you. It is a nice bike, without a doubt. It's definitely better than his old one. Might not have the power, but you're having a good laugh on this. Right, a wick. Oh, it just started raining. Not good. Not good at all. I'm going to watch out for this because I don't want to drop his bike. He's going to love me for parking it on here. Right. That's on the stand, don't worry. So this is his KTM. These two lights light up as well, but you probably can't see that at the moment. These are the indicators. Very good place to put them. When he gets his new screen, it's just going to be this bit, not all this chunky stuff on the side. And we put the RNG crash protection on it, and the buttons. This is what I mean by the tail tidy. It just doesn't look as good as an Evo Tech, but it'll do. And as you can see, we've got a straight through pipe there because we drilled that out. And this is what it looks like from this side. It's got ABS, decent brake pads and discs. It's definitely a nice little learner bike. Probably worth every single penny of £4,000. So yeah, it's not a bad little bike. I don't know the name of those brakes, but I'll put it in the description. They certainly ain't Brembo, that's all I can say. That's what you get for having an Austrian bike, isn't it? Right. I haven't been down here in a while. So yeah, that's his bike. And if you're interested in getting a decent bike for your first bike, make sure you pick the right one first time. Yeah, get the bike you want and enjoy it. I know when you'd get on it, you'd be like, yes, this is the nuts. But after a while, trust me, when you've had a few months on it, you'd be like, I need more power now. And you'd be like, yeah, I'm about ready for my test. And you can go in, get your test done. test done, which will be about 600 quid. And then you can do what I done and go straight to an R6, then a street triple, and I'm currently waiting on the MV. So yeah, you can pick and choose your bikes once you pass test, but this, it's got to be the perfect little bike for being a 125. Like, I'm going uphill now, look, 40 miles an hour. Go down gear. That's it, now we're getting somewhere. And you get a good display as well. I mean, you got your fuel gauge on there. Most bikes nowadays don't even have one, which is silly. It's got a good rev counter. It's got a shift indicator which is set to about 7,000 or 8,000 on the bike at the moment. But I think this bike will rev right out to about 12,000 RPM, which is pretty damn impressive actually. Right. Let's go down a few gears. It's got a good turning circle on it. My only problem with this bike, right, well, I've probably got two, but the other one's not really a biggie. As a learner bike, I'd say the best way to learn about your bike is to be able to do everything yourself, you know, like check the oil and that. On this one, to check the oil, it's got a sight glass, and it's pretty much right at the bottom of the fairing on the right hand side. I mean, right at the bottom. You got a tiny bit of cutout on your fairing to look through, but you can't see nothing, not unless you got a torch. Whereas if you had like the boys of the R125, you got a dipstick and you can properly check it and learn how to maintain it. I think this one will be slightly harder, but in the long run it won't make no difference because you get used to it and it'll be alright. If I was 17 again, yeah, I'd probably have one. Yeah, I probably would, to be honest. If you want to see more videos, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.